Hey there everybody, welcome back. Let's get right into it. Some of you probably have iPhones. You might love it, you might not, or you might have an Android phone that you think is the best of all the Android phones, or you might just want to switch to a different kind of phone. If you've considered switching from an iPhone to Android, or switching from the Android brand that you always buy from every year, I'm going to share with you 5 things that will convince you to try a Pixel phone for your next device. Let's get started. Okay, that's much better. Now, something even more fluid than my water, here is the Pixel's software experience. I need a new scriptwriter. Hey, wait a second. Before I get into the specifics, let's define what I mean by the phone feeling fluid. Simply put, it's a combination of factors that make using a phone feel fast, smooth, and intuitive. I have owned many Pixel devices over the years, and actually the Pixel 9 Pro XL is in my pocket the most out of all the other phones that I own. If you have an iPhone and are looking to give Android a try, and by the way, I'm going to make a video about this very soon, so subscribe down below if that's something you're interested in. But if you're looking to switch, buy a Pixel device. It doesn't have to be the new 9 series. Pixels in general, when it comes to software, are mostly bug-free, smooth, and simple to understand, and they just work. Where have we heard that phrase before? Yep, it's basically the iPhone of Android devices. Oh, and it's not going to come with bloat software or redundant applications that seem totally unnecessary like other Android phones. Looking at you, Samsung. So even though I think the S24 Ultra is the better buy if you want the absolute best phone of 2024, the Pixel platform is going to give you the Android experience that is most comparable to your iPhone. There's just something about the software experience that won't show up when you're looking at the benchmark of the CPU or the GPU. It's the lack of random stutters when you're using your device. It's a little difficult to translate this into a video, but here's a clip with the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL next to the S24 Ultra performing the same exact activities. Let me know if you can see the difference in smoothness down below. But who cares if it's smooth if the camera is horrible? Well, fortunately, that is not the case. The Pixel's camera is simply the best camera of any Android phone on the market. While other manufacturers focus on having the best industry-leading camera hardware, the Pixel has always been known to have pretty good camera hardware, but the best image processing in the industry. That's where I feel some Android users lose focus. No pun intended. A lot of us love spec sheets and benchmark comparisons. Who has the most powerful processor? Whose camera has the most optical zoom? Or the best sensor this year? These things are important, so please don't get me wrong. But if you have a camera that is considered to be the most powerful on the market, but bad image processing, That can ruin your entire otherwise nice photos by overprocessing your image, doing a poor job at correcting for things like movement and image blur, or doing things like increasing the contrast too much. Of course, a lot of this can be subjective. I mean, you may love the overly saturated photos of your Samsung phone. I think most of us can recognize that the Pixel's camera creates the better image. And part of Google's smart image processing through the use of AI can also be reflected with Google's very intelligent Google Gemini. All Pixel devices are integrated with arguably the best AI out there in 2024, which makes the Pixel the absolute best phone for productivity. I will admit, when Google released Gemini, I was cautiously optimistic. Google doesn't exactly have the best track record of releasing new things and sticking with them. Here's a list here. But after using it with my Pixel 9 Pro XL, I have to admit that I use it way more than I thought I was going to. It has become critical for me and what I need a phone to do on a daily basis, and Google is improving it every day. Here are some examples of how good it really is. My wife and I are preparing for a hurricane on the east coast of Florida. What are like 3 things that we need to be prepared for?
All right, here's the deal. You're going to want to be prepared for power outages, heavy rain and wind, and the possibility of needing to evacuate. First, a power outage could last a while, so have flashlights and batteries handy. You'll also want to think about ways to keep food cold without the fridge, like coolers with ice packs. Second, with heavy rain and wind, make sure you've got the basics covered. Board up windows if you can, bring in anything that could get blown around, and secure any outdoor furniture. Finally,
Yeah, I think we're good with that. I'm really concerned about the storm surge. We're about maybe 10 miles inland. Do you think that will affect us if it's like a Category 3 hurricane?
10 miles inland with a Category 3? You should be mostly okay, but it's really smart to be thinking about this. Storm surge can be unpredictable, especially if the storm changes course at the last minute. You might want to check out the Florida Division of Emergency Management's website or your local news for more specific details on your area. They'll have
The cool thing with Gemini is that you also find its integration within other Google products in the Pixel ecosystem. I feel like YouTubers and other people talk a lot about Apple's ecosystem, which I can definitely understand because they really do it the best in the business. And even an Android fanboy like myself can recognize that. I'm talking about things like iPhone, AirPods, MacBooks, iMacs, iPads, Apple Watches, and more. Also, Samsung has a very vast ecosystem that is very comparable to Apple, with their own set of phones, Galaxy Watches, headphones, tablets, computers, and even fridges, and washer machines, and dryers. Yikes, I cannot wait to drop $20,000 on the new Apple iWash and iDry machines, and that's before Apple Care and the Wash and Dry subscription plan, My wife says I'm hilarious, by the way, but even though Google doesn't have the same size ecosystem as its competitors, the quality and the integration between its devices gets noticeably better with every iteration. I mean, just look at the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL compared to the previous generations, the Pixel Buds Pro 2 and the Pixel Watch 3. Now, of course, Google has a tablet and their Nest cameras and thermostats and other products, but I really want to focus on what is most important to probably the vast majority, and that is what we have on us all the time. Your phone, your watch, and your headphones. Easily my top 3 things I make sure I have before going off to work every single day. The thing is that just like my Apple products, the Pixel products just work. I never have to worry about my Pixel Watch glitching out and freezing up, or my Pixel Buds Pro 2 becoming unpaired, or the left doesn't work, or the right doesn't work, or vice versa. These were real issues I had on the previous iterations of these devices. I can say with 100% confidence that even though things didn't appear to change much for Google in 2024, Google gave us a polished Pixel ecosystem experience that I have only ever felt with Apple products. Yes, even Samsung still gives me random glitches and headaches every now and then that I just don't get with my Pixel devices. If you are currently frustrated with your current Android phone and the glitches and random bugs or stutters that you might be experiencing, or you want to try Android for the first time but are worried that it won't just work like your iPhone, buy a Pixel. The seamless integration between all of my devices is one of the things that keeps the Pixel in my pocket the most out of all the other phones that I have. But apart from that, Pixel devices have unique features that are not gimmicks, unlike the iPhone 16's camera control button. Just saying, here are most of the exclusive features you are only going to find on Google Pixel devices. Some of these things I don't use on a daily basis, but I don't consider any of these things to be a cheap gimmick. They make my life easier and they can make yours easier too. So that's the video. Thank you all for watching. Listen, I know this video is biased. I truly favor my Pixel devices because I have been a die-hard Pixel fanboy since the Nexus days. But with that said, there are some amazing phones in the market right now, most notably, in my opinion, being the S24 Ultra and the S25 Ultra that will come out early next year. I will have another video talking about why the Samsung experience might be the right one for you. So don't give up on me, my Samsung Knights that are listening down below. Please hit that like button down below and subscribe for more if you like what I do, and I will see all of you next time.